Hi there. In this session, we're working with Adobe Spark, which is a free browser-based graphics program, primarily for social media. And while the version we're working with today is free, there is a paid version as well that we'll talk about in just a couple of seconds. What is Adobe Spark? Well, the URL is right up here. And as I said just a bit ago, is a free browser-based graphics program. Now, there is a paid version for $10 a month. And it allows you to add your own brand. That's not just your logo, but your color scheme and your fonts as well. If you choose not to use the $10 a month paid version, the Adobe Spark logo will be on all your projects except one. You do get one freebie that will not have the Adobe Spark logo on it. As I said before as well, it creates social media friendly graphics, and there are three main categories: post, pages, and videos. I'll devote one session to each of these categories. So today we'll be working with posts, which works well with memes, with quotes, with announcements, that kind of thing. The other ones, pages, are standalone web pages and full page graphics. It's hard to describe this adequately because this is the best of the three categories. It's a long scrolling animated web page, and it allows you to put a lot of content of many different kinds, whether that's text, whether that's images, whether that's YouTube videos, onto your page. Finally, there is a video category as well, which is a short animated graphic presentations. You're not necessarily using videos with the video option. You can be using what is called the Ken Burns effect as well, where you're kind of panning and zooming on still images. So when you're in the middle of working with Adobe Spark and you want to go to find one of these categories, you click the SP in the upper left-hand corner, and that will give you your main page. You click the plus button on the main page and then choose post, page, or video. And again, today we are working with post. One more slide and then we'll jump into the dashboard for the post version of Adobe Spark. The dashboard's similar to Canva, which we have covered in previous sessions. All you do is choose a layout, add your pictures, and add your text. Now after that, you can experiment with the elements in your post. Here's a screenshot of the toolbar that you'll be working with. Use design to switch your pre-existing elements, those pictures and those text, to a different design. Use layout to switch those elements to a different layout. Use palette to change the color palette that you're working with. Use background to change the background or to add a filter to that background. And then text to adjust your text. There'll be a plus button you can use to add text boxes or images. And once you're done with your Adobe Spark post, you can post it directly to social media from Adobe Spark, or you can save it and post it later. In general, I recommend saving and posting later because you get a few more options that way. And with all that said, let's jump into Adobe Spark. Here we are at the main page for Spark. If you go to the plus right up here and click it, you'll see you have the post, page, and video options. At any point in a project, if you want to go back to this page to choose a new category, you go to the SP over here, which will take you back to this page. And from there, you click the plus to choose which category you want. We'll start with post and continue. And here's the main page. You can choose start from scratch to get a blank canvas. We'll start with an actual template today. I'll go down to school. I'm going to choose this Facebook post option right here. It'll take a little while for this to load up. Here it is. Let's start by replacing our background. I'm just going to click inside the image and I get replace, adjust, and delete. I'll click replace and then get used to this upload photo button in the upper right because you'll be using that a lot. You click that. I'll choose graphic use 2 and click open. And here's the picture loaded into Spark. I'm going to move to the adjust option. I'm not going to scale or rotate, but I am going to move the flower over and down just a little bit. My photo filters are already up over here. So I'm going to select one of these. I'm going to use the Fremont to calm that down so it competes less with the text. I'm going to add a logo next, so I'll click the Add button. I have photo, text, and logo options. I can't use logo unless I have the paid version, So I'm going to go to Photo instead. Again, use that Upload Photo button. And I'm going to go to my desktop and grab the logo I want. Here's the logo. It's centered and quite large, so I'll select it. I will size it down, and I will move it into the corner. Go a little bigger here. So far, so good. Our last step is working with the text, so I will click Text. Once I click the text link, two things happen. I have style options over here on the right, and when I click inside the words over here, I get Edit, Order, and Delete. So I'm going to click Edit. I'm going to paste in my first set of text and click Done. Adventures in Sustainable Gardening. I'm going to make this a little smaller. I'm going to push it up here. I'm going to add a second text box. Click Add and Text. And this text I will quickly paste over and click Done as well. That shows up right here. I'll make it smaller and I'll put it just under my title. I'm now using these sizing boxes, these sizing circles, I guess, in the corners of our text boxes to adjust the sizing of both our main title and the information underneath. Now we can use these style options over here to work with the shape, the color, the font, and so on. But I think I like my lettering as is here. I think the text is fine. So I'm going to make a couple final tweaks. First thing I'm going to do is click out of this text and into this box. I want to change the color of this box and have it match the approved colors for CSU. I'm going to go up here to Original Color. Now, you can go to the CSU Style Guidelines and get the hex code for this color. But since we already have this logo up here, I'm simply going to pick the little eyedropper guy, move it over to our RAM, and select that color. And now the color of this panel behind our text matches the CSU colors. I'm going to quickly show you design, layout, and palette options so you can see how that works. But first, I like this the way it is. I'm going to show you how to share and or download. If you click Share, you get your title. You have to choose a category. I'm an author. I'll turn this on, and I'll create the link. And then once I have this link, I can share that via Facebook, Twitter, email, or simply use the link in, say, a web post or a blog post or something like that. I can also download it directly by clicking Download and simply saving it as a JPEG. Now, our last little bit of info here, if I go to Design, I can see what these same elements look like in an entirely different design. So notice that my text here doesn't change at all, but how Adobe Spark chooses to work with them, that's actually rather nice, changes every time I choose a design. So after you're done with all your elements in place, you can go back and choose a design you like. I'll go back to my original, a little layout, and similarly, I can work with different layouts for my elements. And here under Palette, I can choose different color palettes to work with. We'll go back to Design. We'll go back to our original. We're back at our main page now, and that's how to work with an Adobe Spark post. Our next session will be on working with Adobe Spark pages.